Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking the dreaded D-Rose report. Maybe the picture's a little bit bigger this time. Hey, Rip Rogers, he used to be a trainer down OVW. I'm not sure whether he's still training there now. He says there's a show down in Louisville, Kentucky coming up tomorrow night. 7:30, it's a tribute show, fundraising show from the real deal Rob Steele that passed away. And Morrison and Cena and Tom Zapanzik that deals with has a lot to do with the Colts, has items down there to raffle off, and money goes to Rob Steele's parents and family, and it's in the famous Danny Davis Arena down in Louisville. If you're around in that area, stop by there and see what's going on. They got some future stars in that place too. That's a WWE developmental territory, not officially, but kind of still is. As noted before, August 15th, WWE Raw, I mentioned, did a 3.27 cable rating with a little bit over 5 million people, viewers watching. And in comparison to the New York Jets and Houston, Texas NFL preseason game, it did 3.72. The ratings, though, brought in 4.97 million viewers, so Raw was the sixth highest rated cable show on TV that night. Here's the kind of interesting stuff. Was not good about the week's ratings, though, in the second hour, plus the overrun averaged quite a bit less. Normally things build up, to the main event, and another high point is the 10 o'clock hour. But anyway, the opener with Triple H, Alberto Del Rio, did a 3.73, and that was the highest point of the show. R-Truth and versus John Morrison in a Falls Count Anywhere match lost like 817,000 viewers. That's the worst decline of any match all this year. Not sure why that was, unless they found out what was, the other matches were, and maybe everybody stayed tuned to see, and then they took off. I don't know. Anyway, the Miz's Subway segment gained about 225,000 viewers, which I have no idea why. Then Kelly and Eve Torres taking on the Bella Twins lost about 52,000. Kevin Nash's interview and segment with CM Punk gained about 556,000 people. That's the 10 o'clock time slot, which is about average for there. Alex Riley versus Jack Swagger lost 619,000 viewers. Whew, a lot worse than usual. Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne taking on Otunga and McGillicuddy lost another 412,000 viewers. That was a little over 1 million, I guess. Anyway, the main event for WWE title, Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio, gained about 763,000 viewers, bringing the overrun to about 3.41. Just want to let you know who brings in viewers and who don't. Jeff Hardy, by the way, had the folks at Top Rope belts make him an Omega Enigma belt, my fault, championship belt. Omega Enigma championship belt. The belt is similar to the Immortal title that Hardy had while he was in TNA for a while. Hardy, his new belt was designed so that when he comes out onto a dark stage and his music plays, the eyes and mouth of the belt lights up and flashes to the music. And as long as Jeff don't, that's all right with me. But anyway, Jeff is allowing Top Rope belts to sell copies of the belts to the fans. No word yet on whether he's come back TNA or not. He just come up with his little cartoonish type belt. The segment, by the way, where the Miz was putting over Subway sandwiches is building up to something even bigger. We're going to see what happens there. Beth Phoenix and Kelly rematch for the Diva titles expected for for September's Night of Champions pay-per-view from Buffalo, where Phoenix grew up. And normally whenever people are in their hometown, WWE don't treat them very good. They usually get beat. I don't know why they do that, just mess with the people, I guess. All the younger WWE talent were backstage at Raw watching this segment with CM Punk, Kevin Nash on monitors. Punk is seen as kind of a hero to a lot of the younger guys because he puts them over and speaks for them since they can't say, what he gets away with saying. So he says it for them. Nash is in great shape, but his history of knee operations he wasn't, walking too good, I guess. The feeling is that Punk versus Nash match won't be too pretty. And Punk said that, Nash said he got a phone call, and the phone was from Triple H's phone. Now, you know who showed back up on there, don't you? Good old Stephanie. Did Stephanie call Nash and use Triple H's phone to get him to come down and do her dirty work with Punk putting over Del Rio? We'll see, because H is saying I don't know anything about it. Nash says it came from his phone, but he didn't say it was from him. Could have been a text. Who could tell by the fingerprints on a text? You can't do it. I think it's Stephanie. Or it could have been Vince using his son-in-law's phone. All right, Sci-Fi on WWE. I mentioned the other day announced that it's the first ever SmackDown Live, and SmackDown Live on August 30th, 8 to 10 p.m. on a Tuesday. Remember, I said Tuesday. Originating from Wichita, Kansas. Anyway, the reason for the rescheduling change is because the original September 2nd air dates falls on Labor Day weekend. Officials are anticipating a poor rating for that day, and therefore the show will air 3 days earlier. Plus, it's going to be on that day, in case you missed it. This week's episode of WWE Superstars is posted online, featuring Zack Ryder squaring off against Drew McIntyre for the main event. Other matches is Morella taking on Primo, Barrett taking on Wade Barrett taking on Trent Beretta, and Brodus Clay against some local guy. WWE recently filed a trademark. I mentioned that the other day too. Applications for terms of future endeavors, future endeavored, or Mr. Future Endeavor. And that's terms that are John Laurinaitis' on-screen character, which actually on-screen and off it's the same. Mexican America are the new TNA Tag Team Champions after defeating Beer Money on last night's episode of Impact. If you missed that, Austin Aries became #1 contender for the X Division after winning a gauntlet match on last night's show. Mickey James is going to be facing off to winner for the Knockout Tag title, September 1st episode of Impact, which is going to be taped in Huntsville, Alabama. TNA has added Zema Icon, Kid Cash, Anthony Nese, Mark Haskins, and Jesse Sorensen to their roster page now. Hank Hennig, who? He's the youngest son of the Hall of Famer Kurt Hennig, and brother to the WWE star Michael McGillicuddy, is now on Twitter at Hank Hennig. Why not? John Cena noted that he was visiting FCW in Florida last week, and a fan asked Cena what he thought about the potential in WWE's developmental territory. He replied, Bo Rotundo and his brother Husky Harris, also known as Wyndham Rotundo, is potential wrestlers for WWE. Kevin Nash is expected to be expected to be at this upcoming Raw, by the way, and is going to be a regular character on WWE TV going forward. And as teased on Monday's Raw, the plan is indeed for Nash to take on Punk in the ring. The idea behind Punk and Nash feuding is to give Punk a top name that would put him over, and not be putting somebody else back. Regarding their segment on Raw, the feeling is backstage Punk got the better of Nash, and Nash's comebacks were too inside and too outdated compared to Punk. And very true. Punk got over really big on Nash. Since Nash didn't get the big ring reaction when he came out on Raw, there's talk that they need to do a better job of explaining on TV to the current generation of fans who Nash is. They may only know, the current generation may only know Nash came from TNA. Program director of there's another group that's all been out of shape at WWE because they've been calling Vicky fat. They think that's being a bully, and that's been... Well, I wish these people get their own business and mind their own business. It's a story that's going on. Let them worry about soaps. They call people names all the time on there and kill them off. Leave us alone. We're not hurting nobody. Oh, thanks for clicking. I gotta go.